All right, so let's just start. Welcome, guys, to the Four Guys with Quarters podcast for episode 10. Now it should say that in the title appropriately. Sorry about that. Yeah, I know, Jizzle. It's pretty funny. I forgot to update the title. I always forget to do that. Anyway, we got a usual cast of characters here. Of course, I'm Inferno217. We got Italian Clowns in the top left. What's going on
What's
there?
up? What's up? What's up?
We've got ZPCI Assassin.
Hello.
And we've got Chaos. What's up?
Hello.
And tonight we have a pretty loaded podcast. We have 5 topics, and we're going to hope to get through them kind of quickly. And yes, we are going to talk about Destiny again, Jizzle, but I promise this time it's going to be brief. With this game, it just updates so much that we have to talk about it like on a weekly basis. I feel like it's going to become a mainstay. But before we do that, let's give a shout out to our advertising partner in crime, xboxculture.com. Guys, go check out the site if you haven't. It's definitely a great community of Xbox lovers like you and I, and there's forums over there. We are all of us are pretty active over there. There's unique reviews, game reviews. There's unique interviews that they do with game developers, so definitely check those out for a real down-to-earth interview instead of, this canned bull that you see on some of these sites. And last but not least, they do a lot of giveaways. So every month they have a giveaway, and this month you only have like a week to get in on it, less than a week. What is the giveaway again? I think it's a signed copy of Wolfenstein by all the development team.
Yep.
So
And Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, and Shadow of Mordor, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. So we'll be talking about that one a little bit later. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about what that is, but we'll be talking about what we're anticipating. But anyway, yeah, get over there, get 10 posts on the forum, and you can get in that giveaway. Awesome site. Definitely go check it out. All right, so this week we're going to be talking first about Destiny, and I promise we will keep it short. So since I didn't get to play a lot of it, I'm going to let these guys talk more about it than I do. Basically, it's just another set of bounties and gear and stuff to unlock, right? Queen's Wrath, it started, yesterday, and it goes until October 6th, Chaos? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just new bounties. And what it is, once you complete a bounty, you get a mission. You go out and do the mission. Of course, the mission is a lot harder than regular. It's just a story mission, but it's a lot harder because they add on elemental damage to it, and probably like another damage multiplier. But the rewards you get in the end are a guaranteed legendary. Of course, you can find legendaries in the game, probably a little bit better. But for some people like me, finding a legendary that I don't need to use is actually pretty good because I can dismantle it for some higher upgrade materials.
Right,
which are probably the rarest thing to find right now.
So, let's just take it back, to the most basic level, if we can, for everybody, Chaos. Basically, there's just a new section of the tower, is that right?
Yes, there's a new section of the tower, right past the place where you turn in all your bounties. There will be a Queen's Emissary. Once you rank up a little bit by doing some of the bounties, you can get an item from that.
Right, okay. Alright, so, it's adding a little bit to the game. Yeah, you're doing the same thing over and over, and we'll have some Twitter responses about that later in the podcast, but you do get unique Queen's gear. Have all 3 of you guys gotten a piece of the Queen's gear so far?
Yeah.
Yep, I have.
Alright, what have you guys gotten?
I got a headpiece for, a warlock. It is character specific. That's another good thing. You don't have to worry that if it's going to be, you don't have to worry that if it's going to be another character.
Now you're speaking my language.
Because sometimes legendaries in this game, you'll get it, but it'll be for a different character. At least this way, hey, I'm getting a legendary. It's going to be for me. I can use it, upgrade it, and maybe rank up a little bit, level up. So
yeah,
I think it's good for people who have been playing it, are just now getting rank 20, and say, hey, I'm going up against all these other rank 25, 26 guys. when can I level up? Well, just go and do some Queen's bounties, and you can get a legendary piece of gear, help you out.
And this kind of, I think this new event addresses a couple of the problems that I've had personally with the game, and I think a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, with the lack of getting legendary gear in the first place, because this pretty much guarantees you a piece, and the fact that when you do get a piece of legendary or exotic gear, it's for another character. It's for another class type, and that just pisses me off beyond belief. But if you're guaranteed a class type, your class type item in this, then I'm all for it.
I mean, right now, I'm just using it to get Ascendant materials, which, if you're in the end game of this game, you know what Ascendant materials is. You know how hard they are to get. So, I mean, you get 3 to 4, possibly even 2 for even dismantling them. Right. So it's pretty good.
Right. So, Clowns, what do you think about it so far? I mean, you've gotten some experience with it.
So far, I mean, to me, it's the same thing as always, except the fact that you're guaranteed legendary, which I think is good for a lot of other people out there that don't have the time to grind, like some of us have been. I think it's good that it's character specific. Other than that, to me, it's the same thing, but just a little bit harder.
Yeah. Assassin, same thoughts? You think?
All I know is I've completed these bounties or whatever, and I got the same helmet 3 times in a row. I don't need the same helmet with the little spider or something on it 3 different times. It's really boring, and it's very repetitive, like everyone says. So I think it makes the game too easy for people. I mean, yes, I haven't got a legendary helmet, and yes, I've been grinding my ass off, and yes, I haven't been getting this shit, but I think it makes it too easy. I mean, I almost ran through a Queen's mission by myself, but I kept on dying. I'm like, this isn't even fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to get the same helmet again. So why should I waste my time getting the same helmet?
Well, before we address that, let's just go to the chat really quick, because the Jizzle's saying he hasn't played Destiny, but he thinks it would be cool if you rarely got your own class type because you promote community trading. There is no trading. You can't trade gear in this. So that theory is out the door, Jizzle. But, I mean, that's true. I mean, if there were trading, then it would promote it, for sure. But there just is no community trading. You can't trade any items in this game. Go ahead, Chaos. What were you going to say?
I was saying that, I think it's really all just random. I think it's just bad RNG that you got that same helmet. I don't think at all that that's the deal.
3 times?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's bad RNG.
Brutal, then. Brutal.
Unless you're doing the same. I mean, it depends. Like, we haven't really tested this. Like, I've been playing them mostly. I've been playing most of the same mission, which there is a way to actually farm your marks. I don't know if we have time to get into this, but you get to do the first mission over, which is probably the easiest one. Mm-hmm. The first mission and the first story mission in the game, but it's it's got those damage multipliers.
Yeah.
But I continuously do that one, and yesterday I got a helmet. Today I got a chest piece. So maybe it's every day you get something different, but you still are guaranteed a legendary. I don't know. I haven't had time to test this.
Right.
Or again, it could be bad RNG because this game has some bad random chance to it.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely something that they definitely have to improve. But I think they're getting there. I think with this event specifically, they're kind of getting there and addressing some concerns that we've been having. Clowns is like chomping at the bit over there. You got something to say about this, Clowns? Or?
No, not really.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's Destiny. I think everything's been said that's on the internet already.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff that's on the internet, we got a viewer tweet, and it was from Game Wisp. Shout out to Game Wisp. They said new Destiny content # the Queen's Wrath is here, and it's ... just old story missions again for fixed loot. Meh, I say. And I think that's like the overwhelming opinion about this, is that it's just meh still. On one hand, I agree, because you're just doing the same thing over and over, and it is getting repetitive. and I know they are adding the modifiers in, and that's a cool way to give some new freshness to these missions. But then again, what are they gonna do? I mean, they're gonna create new stuff at this point. I don't think so. Like, what would you expect? You know? Anybody on that?
I think they need to think about where they are in the game. Like, have they reached level 20? I mean, for people like me, this helps me. So I mean, if I've got to redo a little story mission, do it 5 minutes, I can do it. I don't mind doing that. But
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, they don't want to do the story mission over. So it's different for everybody. But again, you know, you're guaranteed a legendary. So I mean, most games are a grind, just like everything else. So
Yeah, I guess people are just gonna have to get used to this grind, because there are enough people that like this game style. You know, we complained about it the first couple weeks it's been out, and you know, we even on this panel we have mixed opinions about the grind. But
Right. I think me and Clowns had a very heated discussion. Well, not heated, more civil on the grind and what we feel like, you know, people should be doing.
right.
I enjoy farming for reputation, because at least I know when I reach a certain rank in my faction, I can get a legendary. Some people enjoy farming for Ingrams, but me, I've had it happen to me way too many times where I'll go take 3 legendaries to the Cryptarch and I'll just get salt. And salt, I mean, you know, absolute trash. I can't
Right.
use it.
Right.
I can't. It's not going to help me anyway. So
Right. So maybe the thing that has to be altered here is the Cryptarch.
I think that would help too. I think if they like even tweaked his, you know, his chances of actually dropping or actually giving you a legendary when you had a legendary Ingram, I think that would help out a lot. And I think a lot of people would be not as upset as they are.
Mhm.
But
We got some stuff in the chat about Destiny, kind of off topic, but I'll mention it. Little Turtle Boy says, cannot stay connected currently to Destiny servers, and it's not my internet because I just played Forza Online for 2 hours without a problem. I've been seeing here and there a lot of people having problems with Destiny servers. I haven't had problems at all with Destiny servers. I don't know about you guys, but
I've been kicked out a couple times, and I've heard of people getting kicked out at the end of the raid, like before they
Ooh,
even
yeah.
complete the raid.
right, yeah, we were talking about that the other
Um,
night. We did, yeah. That would be brutal.
Again, I mean, I want to go back to what I originally said on this. Destiny had a great launch. I don't think it went down for a long period of time, which you don't see that with a lot of big multiplayer titles. You know, usually first night of release, it's, oh, I can't even play multiplayer because, you know, server's down. You know, you were able to get on that night the minute it was out and play multiplayer. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks you're getting kicked out, but I think they're working through the problems. It's Bungie. I'm hoping they'll at least address that issue on the multiplayer.
Yep. For those having problems, that sucks. Sorry, but personally, I don't think we've had too many problems. I mean, Chaos just said he had some problems. What about you guys, Assassin and Clowns? You guys had problems getting kicked out of servers at all?
Usually during the Crucible,
Just during Crucible, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
and usually at the end of a match.
And Clowns, no? Not really?
No, the only time is like when Destiny has an update. They'll
Yeah.
kick me off and say verifying content.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's been improving. Just hang in there if you're a fan of the game. I don't think you should abandon it because you've been kicked off a couple times. But that said, how much longer are we gonna wait for the servers to be really stable? I mean, with games like Battlefield, we've been waiting forever. I mean, some of the servers still aren't stable. So I mean, hopefully Bungie gets their metaphorical shit together before that. But yeah. Anything else about Destiny? I think that was kind of quick for Destiny.
Yes. Quick.
Yes.
more
If
go.
anybody is looking for a clan to join
Oh,
or a
yeah,
group
right.
to join on Destiny, please come join our group, Four Guys with Quarters, on Go to Bungie.net, join it, and write something in the little forum page, telling us you're from the podcast, and I'll do my best to get to you, or Assassin or somebody will do their best to get to you and add you as a clan member. You can wear our tag, and if and when we ever get to a level where we're going to be doing the raid every week, you might, if we need an extra, you might be called on, or hell, just find people to play with, because I mean that's really the fun part about this game, is if you have friends, go play with your friends. If you're by yourself, it's going to get really boring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally agree. Go check that out. Chaos is taking care of that stuff, so thanks again, Chaos. But yeah, go join the clan, and we're happy to play with people to watch the show. I mean, we love interacting with people who are our viewers and followers and stuff. So definitely check that out. Anything else about Destiny, Clowns, or Assassin?
No.
Oh my God, that's a record for the quickest. 17 minutes. Less than 17 minutes on Destiny. Incredible.
Hey.
All right, let's move on to other stuff. Next thing on the docket, new game releases that have been coming out in the past week since we podcasted last, and some upcoming games that we're excited about. So what have we got first? Oh, I want to announce first that we have been getting some press passes from a couple of different game studios, and first of which we've gotten a couple of copies of games to do some reviews on podcast and on our website, 4guyswithquarters.com. The first one is Zen Studios. So if you're familiar with Zen Studios, or if you're not familiar rather, they are the company that does Pinball FX2, and they are the company that just did the newly released Castle Storm Definitive Edition, and they're doing Kickbeat. We'll talk about those a little bit more. We'll talk about Castle Storm first, because that actually is a title that has been released. You might have heard of or played Castle Storm on the 360. It came out last year, I believe. Had 2 DLC packs. Did pretty decently well Metacritic-wise. I believe high 70s on Metacritic. So decently respectable indie game. So I've got a copy of this. I'm going to be doing the review of it. So thank you again, Zen Studios. Basically what Castle Storm is, and I do realize before anyone says anything who's looking at the podcast and watching it live, or on YouTube, these are PS4 pics of the game. Unfortunately, the press pass pictures that they gave us are of the PS4 version, but it's the exact same on the Xbox One. 1080p, 60 frames a second, runs buttery smooth. So basically this is like a tower defense game. It just came out today, or yesterday maybe, this week. I think it was today though. And basically it's tower defense, and you can call in your own knights and stuff. It's set in medieval times, and you can call in knights and archers and different kinds of foot units, and you can also command a catapult and use different kinds of projectiles to take down the enemy forces and enemy fortresses. And it's kind of intricate, kind of cool, so I haven't gotten too much into it, but just let it be known that we'll be doing a quick review on the podcast, and we'll probably be doing a review on the site and YouTube as well, full more extensive review. So yeah, check it out. It's $14.99, which I haven't played the whole thing, but right now it seems like it may be a little expensive, but it does look like there's more content to come, so I'm not going to say it's too expensive quite yet. I'm going to wait until I play through it, but it looks really cool right now. I've been loving it so far. Let's all right, let's go to Kickbeat, and Clowns is the one who has the copy of Kickbeat. So he's going to be doing the review on that. So we'll let Clowns kind of explain what Kickbeat is while the slideshow goes on in the video podcast. So go ahead, Clowns.
So far, I started playing through Kickbeat, and I gotta say I love it. It's a fun, entertaining indie game. It's definitely something to do in between bigger titles. It's a rhythm game. You gotta hit the buttons at the timed moment. It's got Kung Fu in there, and you're playing the music, which is really cool. I gotta say, I love the game. I definitely suggest getting it. I believe it comes out this Friday. I'm not going to ruin the story for you because there's actually a story, and the artwork inside the game itself on the story is fantastic. I still got to finish my review, so I got more to play on there. But you can, once you play as the character Lee, then you can go on to the female character. But it is, I just gotta say, it's really awesome. For an indie title, I'm very surprised at how much quality went into this game. I definitely suggest checking it out.
So you're gonna be doing that review on the website, and maybe a little video thing to do for the podcast clowns.
I will.
All right, cool. And when is that one coming out? Do we have a definitive date yet, or?
I believe it's Friday. I didn't get a chance to look everything over, but Turtle and I were both talking about the game. Turtle is doing his review on Xbox Culture, and we're both discussing it. But Turtle said that the release date is supposedly Friday.
All right, cool. So this is kind of a weird genre. I don't know exactly what to put this into. I mean, it is a rhythm game at heart, but it is really it's really different. Turtle says in the chat Friday the 26th, so that is this upcoming Friday for those who are interested. I don't think we have a price quite yet on it, but expect it to be like in the $15 range, I'm sure. But this is a great developer. If you've played Pinball FX2, you probably know how awesome this developer is. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more stuff in the future to review for them and to feature on the podcast. So anything else more to say about that, clowns, or anybody?
Definitely check it out. That's what I would suggest.
Assassin, what do you think of Kickbeat?
Well, one question.
Yeah.
Did they make their own music, or is it music from different like artists?
It's got major artists in there like Pod, Marilyn Manson, Envy. So I mean, it's got like major artists in there.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I saw like maybe a Papa Roach track on the set list. Maybe I didn't look at the set list too closely, but that's what it kind of looked like, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested. Assassin, of one of these games, which one were you leaning towards?
Probably the one Clowns got, just because I mean, I love those rhythm type games. I mean, there was one on PC. I mean, different, developer, whatever, but Crypt of the Necrodancer, amazing game right there. If you like, games like that.
Yeah.
But definitely probably that one.
Chaos, what are you thinking, man? Are you there? Is he there?
Yeah, man, I just sniped a noob. I'm sorry. Yeah, these games, these press styles we're getting, they look awesome. I can't wait to get mine, my set. So just whenever, guys.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. All right, so what do we got next? So I think that's it for Zen Studios stuff that's coming out pretty soon. How about some new indie games that have come out recently? So 2 games have come out recently that we didn't talk about at all in the last podcast: Flockers and Defense Grid 2. So Flockers, if you're interested in this kind of game, Flockers is like Lemmings, if anyone's played that. Basically, you guide a bunch of sheep to the goal. That's essentially what it is. There's no other way to really explain it. The only way you can really explain it is say it's just like Lemmings. But Lemmings was insanely popular, and there hasn't been one on a console for a pretty long time. So if you're into that kind of game, definitely check out Flockers. It is kind of on the expensive side. Right now it's at an introductory rate. You can get it for $18.74, but normal retail, and it's an indie game, for $25. Anybody see any of this and can say anything about it, or?
No.
What about the price? Oh, Assassin checked the price. Isn't it on PS4 as well, the same price?
Yep, it's 25% off.
All right, so I think the introductory rate is across pretty much every platform that you can get it for, but I don't know if you guys have played Lemmings, but it's really exactly like Lemmings. I can't express that enough. It's just like Lemmings. So definitely watch some streams on it or some YouTube videos. There really is no other way to explain it. Um, Defense Grid 2. That game came. Defense Grid 1 came out for 360. I think Assassin played it, right? You liked it,
Yep.
Assassin, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, at that time, I mean, it was free, so I mean, it was a good game. But I mean, I wasn't into tower defense games. I mean, I've played Bloons Tower Defense, on the computer. I mean,
Yep,
it was
Bloons,
nice to have something on the console because then that actually got me into these tower defense games. I mean, I still don't play them constantly, but I mean, it's something different. I mean, other than a first-person shooter or or whatever you call Destiny,
Nice.
and Minecraft. So I mean, yeah.
Looking at the chat just really quick. Keegan64 says that Flockers is a crazy game. From what I've seen, I agree. It's kind of crazy. If it's anything. See, I haven't played it, so I don't know if it's just like Lemmings, but it looks just like Lemmings, and if it is craziness. It's going to be absolute craziness, and you will rage. It's tough, though. It's really tough, and if you're looking for a challenge, I would definitely at least watch some videos about it. But I think the price is just a little on the steep side, personally. And Zave, we did mention the clan already, so there's now a link in the chat if anyone's interested in joining our Destiny clan. We definitely love to play with you guys at some point. So, Clowns, anything to say about Defense Grid or Flockers?
I haven't really got a chance to play them hands-on.
Yeah.
From what you said, Defense Grid sounds pretty accurate, but Flockers looks like an interesting take on Lemons, but I would definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, Defense Grid, even though it's tower defense, it reminds me a lot of Command and Conquer. Clowns and I were talking about this, off the podcast, and we were a part of that Command and Conquer Red Alert kind of age for computer gaming, and just looking at it, just looking at Defense Grid, you kind of get flashbacks to that, and I do like that about it. However, it's $25. So I'm not sure I would be willing to drop $25 on this. If this went on sale for maybe $15, I may be interested. But for $25, it would have to for me. What do you what do you guys think? In general about these indies coming out at $25?
It's a little steep for indie title, I think. Especially since most indie titles on the 360 were like only a couple of bucks.
Yeah, like the most expensive indie title on the 360 that I can remember is $20. Like the very most expensive one. And now we're setting a new standard with $25, and they're not even like, in my opinion, the quality of game is just not even as good as these $20 titles. Like Castle Crashers, I don't even know if that was $20 when that released. That might have been only $15, and that was fantastic. Like that was just absolutely fantastic. But I mean, Flockers, dude, for $18.74, I just don't know. All right, we got some people in the chat that are saying that they played some Defense Grid on 360. So if you guys have any opinions or anything to say about Defense Grid, since we aren't really too experienced with it, just let us know. Yeah, let us know in the chat. But you didn't play Defense Grid, did you, Chaos?
No, I've never played it.
Okay, yeah. So, the Jizzle says if he was an indie, he would charge like $1 for his first game, gets a major press for bold publicity stunt. The thing is with Xbox and with Microsoft, I think Microsoft kind of like tells these guys what to charge. Am I wrong about that, Clowns? Have you heard anything about that?
I'm not sure on that. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten any type of confirmation. So to me, that's all speculation.
Yeah, okay. All right. So that may be all speculation, honestly.
Get that away
but,
from me.
I mean, I feel like Microsoft definitely has a hand. Not even just Microsoft in general, but Microsoft and Sony, they have a hand in making, these cost a certain amount of money. You sure? Okay, Jizzle says he's sure there's like a $5 minimum. Yeah, it's probably like $5 because we saw games come out already this year. What was that one? Fibbage, right? That was only $7. So We'll see. Castle Crash is coming to Xbox One, you think, Zave? I haven't heard anything about that, but I did hear that that developer was making a new game. What was the name of the game again, Clowns?
Game 4.
Game 4 was the game that they're making. So I don't know if it's exactly like Castle Crashes. I think it's more like turn-based than side-scrolling action, but we will see. Keegan in the chat says, with Defense Grid, you need to be smart where you place turrets down. It's really strategic. Yeah, just like an RTS, a real-time strategy game. It's like a mix between a real-time strategy and a tower defense. So, yeah, check it out if you're interested in that kind of thing. And if you watch it, I guarantee you'll flash back to Command and Conquer. I was saying to the guys earlier before the show that even the health bars above the enemies remind me of Command and Conquer. Like, I swear they just copied and pasted it. So there's a link in the chat if anybody's looking at the chat. Behemoth.com/game4 for the game that's coming to Xbox One from the creators of Castle Crashers. Alright, I think we're done with the indies. Let's talk about the new retail releases. And I know Assassin's really passionate about one of these two. FIFA 15 and Disney Infinity came out this week. Let's start with Disney first, just because it's the more fun one and something that got a major overhaul. Thinking about picking this one up, Assassin, or is it a little too expensive?
How much was it again?
The starter pack, which comes with 3 characters and a couple of the ability discs that you can place to add on abilities to the characters. That one is $75. So it comes with the game, and it comes with Iron Man, Thor, and Black Widow. So if you guys aren't familiar with Disney Infinity or Skylanders, it comes with like this pad that plugs into your console via USB, and you put the character on the pad, and you can actually play as that character that you have the action figure for. If you want new characters in the game, if you want to play as someone else, you're gonna have to go buy the characters, and they average around $15 retail. You can get the deals on them pretty often, but let's talk about that. $15 retail for a new character, that's kind of bogus to me. When I was a kid, action figures weren't that much money.
No, they weren't, but my kids wanted to get into that, or my daughter did, and I told her to refuse because I can just see how much all those action figures cost. But gameplay wise, from what I can tell, like each character gets like their own little world to play in.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you're getting at least some decent content.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to mislead anyone. Chaos makes a good point. It's not exactly just a new playable character. You do get unique things. You get a unique skill tree for each character, so when you rank them up, you can add new skills and upgrade the existing ones, and you get unique areas to play. So it's not just getting a new character in the same space. So that's a good point. Assassin, if this game was $60, what do you think?
In general, I think the game is just expensive because if you have to waste $15 on one character, including the $60 for the game, it's getting expensive. Yes, it looks cool, and I didn't know what to expect from this game. I've heard good things about it, but why would I spend $60 and then I don't know, 30 on 2 more characters or something?
Right.
Make it 60 with the starter pack, and then maybe another character of your choose or whatever.
Choice, yep.
Yeah.
I got you.
So $60 plus 15. It maybe seems worth it, but I'm not going to spend my money on it.
Yeah, it's kind of, the money is kind of crazy, I will admit, but they're gonna make it. These kids are going nuts for it. It's on every platform essentially. I looked at the platforms it was coming out for, and I don't think it's on the original Wii for once. So you're gonna have to step up if you want to get this one. But Turtle says in the chat he would have gotten it if it wasn't Marvel themed. So I did forget to mention that kind of. My bad. This one is Disney Infinity, and the subtitle actually is Marvel Action Heroes or Superheroes. Marvel Superheroes, yeah. So this is the 2.0 version of Disney Infinity. There was an original one, and it kind of stunk a little bit. So they went back to the drawing board and improved it based on people's feedback, and they've made it a ton better, according to a lot of people and a lot of streamers that I've watched. So, Clowns, what do you think of it?
It looks really neat. I definitely want to get a hands-on view of it. My daughter would love stuff like that. She was into like Skylanders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I reached out to him, hoping I get to try it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the thing that, like, I'm going to play this. I know my nephews are probably going to get this. But I'm going to play this, and I'm going to think this is awesome. Like, even though I am of an age where people may say that I shouldn't be playing this game, you know what I mean? But, do you think there's a huge age thing with this one, or do you think this is more likely to capture an older audience just because it is Marvel stuff? Anybody?
I think it's a smart move what they did, because they're going to get Marvel fans plus children that want to play it. So it's a good marketing tactic on Disney's behalf. But it definitely looked like a lot of fun.
What's kind of weird is that I noticed that on the character list, there's a pretty notable omission of Marvel stuff, and that's X-Men. I don't think there are any X-Men characters. Which, when people think of Marvel, a lot of people think of X-Men. Like, that's one of the first things they think of. So, I wonder if they just didn't get the licensing or what, but no X-Men's kind of a big deal, right?
A little bit. But I mean, they could add it in the future.
Yeah, they could add it. They could definitely add it. I mean, how hard is it to just generate some new characters or whatever?
Yeah.
Ooh, the chat is going crazy. Hold on a second. Keegan says that his cousins have Disney Infinity and you can play as almost all the Disney people. Yeah, I think that's what it is with this too. You can play as like anyone from the Marvel universe except X-Men, which is crazy. Zave Blazem says Sherlock game is coming out soon. Yes, we know that. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but hopefully we'll be able to get a copy and talk about it on the next podcast. Alright, I think that's it. Last thing I want to mention about Infinity is that you'll be able to actually trade in and buy used action figures at GameStop, which I think is kind of cool. Like, if you're done with the character, you can trade in the character instead of being stuck with it. But I've been reading online and I've seen that when you trade in the character, they don't just resell it, they don't just rebag it and resell it, they send it back to headquarters and they repackage it in some fancy packaging. That's kind of stupid, I think. Like, I think that's gonna ruin inventory for certain stores. Or maybe they'll just sell them online, I don't even know. But I think that's kind of a stupid move. Anything else on Disney Infinity, gentlemen?
Nope.
Maybe I'll be a sucker and get it for my cousins to play, and I'll be one of the people feeding into their greed and why they're selling it for so much money, but whatever.
You'd be surprised how many of that are so, like, it's crazy how much of it is sold.
Oh, I know. It sells a ton. I mean, Skylanders, dude. Skylanders was wicked expensive as well.
Yep.
Hopefully, if this gets discounted for Black Friday, I'll probably pick it up. So let's talk about FIFA now, before we move on to some other stuff. So FIFA 15, anybody got anything to say about this? It's essentially the same old stuff. I mean, it's a new graphics engine, so it looks a lot better. Am I the only one that's going to be getting this one? Or actually, I already have it. I already have it right here. But I'm the only one. All right, so I guess screw it. FIFA came out. I guess that's all we're gonna talk about, FIFA. But if anyone wants to play against me, I will have it. So add me to your friends list, and I'll be looking for people to play against online.
I still got the EA access.
Oh, Clowns has got the EA Access edition, so maybe we'll have to duke it out on stream, or maybe the Jizzle can play against Clowns again, and see how he fares. But if anybody's got anything to say about FIFA, I haven't played the new one yet, so I just got it. But to my understanding, there isn't really anything new other than the graphics engine is supposed to be better, so it's more fluid, and I think the gameplay is just a little bit quicker. I think they've altered it that way. But if anyone's got anything to say about that, just leave it in the chat and we'll revisit it. But I think for right now, we're just going to move on. Jizzle says he sucks at FIFA, so you have a chance, Clowns. So
I'm still not used to the controls, but we'll see what happens.
all right. So he says he's playing it right now, same game mostly. It just looks better. And Keegan has already challenged me to a game of FIFA. If you get it for Xbox One, then I'll definitely play you and school you, but it's fine. Alright, so now something that all you guys are going to have something to say about for once. Shadow of Mordor is coming out pretty soon. Next week, right? Everyone's getting it?
Oh yeah, I am definitely.
Assassin's not getting it at launch. I think he's... Okay, are you getting it at launch, Chaos, or are you going to wait for a little bit?
I'm gonna wait. I think the way my money situation is gonna go, I don't think I'll be able to get it. But
Gotcha. But you will be getting it eventually.
well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I will be getting it. It just depends on what the reviews say and how well it does. But I just have to say.
Yeah, so next week we've got Shadow of Mordor and Forza, but we'll talk about Shadow of Mordor first. We've already got a huge response in the chat. Shadow already paid. Somebody, Zabe Blazem says. Little Turtle Boy says he's not getting it. Keegan says he is getting it. Me and Clowns are getting it. Clowns, you already have it reserved, right?
I do. I already got it pre-loaded on my dashboard.
This is a really unique game. This is like the first game, definitely for this console, but the first game that I can remember in a long time where your decisions like truly and honestly make the game change. And I don't mean like Mass Effect. I mean like every single move you make changes the outcome of the game. What do you guys find cool about it? Like, what are you guys looking forward to in the game?
I think it's cool that they do have that Nemesis system in the game. I mean, it makes it, like you said, it makes everybody's game different. I mean, you can pretty much build your army against the enemies of Mordor, or kill them all. It's just your choice, however you want to play.
Right. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm not into Lord of the Rings. I'm not gonna like this one." I'm not into Lord of the Rings either, really. I'll admit it. And I'm still gonna get it because it looks incredible. And I don't think it's that closely tied to Lord of the Rings. Am I wrong about that? Is it more closely tied than I think it is, or?
Yeah, it's actually what actually happened. Well, their basis of what happened between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. All right.
So those two books, there's a time period where stuff goes on that nobody knows about. This gives you a little bit more backstory of what goes on. How actually, if you know the Lord of the Ring books and the movies, how actually Sauron came into power, took back over the lands of Mordor and stuff like that. So it gives you a lot more backstory in that.
Gotcha. But being someone who hasn't read the books and stuff like that, I think I can speak for other people that haven't gotten too into it and say that it is something that I think that you'll be able to get into without knowing the backstory too much. I think you'll still enjoy it. It's one of those games where you don't need to absolutely know every aspect of the story to get into. Yeah,
I think it's got a lot of replayability to it. From the looks of it, I don't know firsthand, but I mean, it looks like a very fun game.
Stop! Get off him now!
More like it looks more like a Batman Arkham City type.
Yes, definitely.
Then I'd say at first I was thinking, well, it's just like Assassin's Creed. You know, you get a mission, you go out and do it. But now I'm sitting there thinking, well, it's sort of open world. You have this world you can go into, but it's more like a Batman Arkham title, the new thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see how it works out.
Assassin, is that what you're thinking? Is it more like Batman a little bit?
I would think, like, I haven't seen much just because, you know, if I watch enough trailers, I'm gonna want to spend my $60 on that game instead of Halo.
Yeah.
So from what I saw, like, it looks like Batman, but then it also has the Assassin's Creed stealth kind of thing to it.
Yeah.
But and it's Lord of the Rings, so I mean, can't go wrong with that. So, yeah.
So people in the chat are interested in not only are they interested in Shadow of Mordor, but there's been a discussion that's broken off about 3DS and Pokemon talk. Yeah, that's the most I'm going to say about that. Let's go back to Shadow of Mordor. That said, I do have a 3DS and Pokemon. But, and I am a grown man. But,
Most of the time.
yeah, right. So, Clowns, what do you think about this game being only single player?
It all depends. I mean, if the story can suck you in kind of like Skyrim, then it's worth it. I mean, if it's got a deep story that can suck you in and there's a lot to do, a lot of gameplay, a lot of missions, things like that, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can incorporate that into a type of multiplayer.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't see them adding multiplayer after the fact in this one. But that said, if it's anything like Skyrim, anything like as encapsulating as the story in Skyrim, then it's not even going to matter. I think people are still going to go crazy. But I'll be getting it. Clowns will be getting it. Maybe we'll do like a little dual review thing on YouTube. We're going to try to get some more YouTube videos up, especially reviews and stuff. So definitely go check out our YouTube channel for that. It's just 4 Guys with Quarters. So, and if you miss a podcast in the future, you can check us out there too. So yeah, is that all we got from Mordor? Or it comes out on the 30th, so we'll have it for the next podcast, and I'm sure we'll talk about it at length at that time. Keegan says the Nemesis system is the best thing you can put in a game. How you kill a leader, and you have an orc on your side, and they get buffed. That's kind of what they showed off in that trailer video. And that did look really cool. I mean, this Nemesis system has definitely got me intrigued. I feel like they could have put this in any game, and I would have been intrigued. But, I mean, the game already looks cool, and then they add the Nemesis system, and it's just got me hooked. I'm definitely going to get it.
It's definitely the first that we've ever seen of it. And here's another thing. Monolith has already gone out and delayed the Xbox 360 version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is it's just not up to par. So that means that they are putting more time into next gen, because this is actually going to be a next gen title. It's not going to be downgraded like some of the promised next gen titles that we've seen. Watch Dogs.
Nice, good point. Yep, good point.
I mean, so this game might actually come up to par and be what we want it to be as far as we were concerned for next gen.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point you make about the next gen differentiation thing, and I was kind of wondering too when I was thinking about that at first. If this were a 360 exclusive, I wonder if they could have done more with it with the Azure servers, since they do have that advantage over the PS4, or if it would have just been a waste, like if it would have been just extra stuff they didn't need. Do you think they could have done more with it? If it were an exclusive and they had those cloud servers active? Anyone?
Well, your question was about the
yeah,
Microsoft.
If Microsoft's cloud servers, like if they were able to get those cloud servers running, because they can't really do that necessarily with a game that's multi-platform, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Other than just multiplayer back-end support. But if this were a Microsoft exclusive and they had the Azure servers, active and
Yeah.
generating these random events and able to calculate out the story depending on every single move you make. Do you think that would have been an advantage, or do you think that's just overkill and they've already accomplished that multi-platform?
I think if they did that, that would be awesome for them because they could add something new every day.
Hmm.
The cloud gives you the ability to go in, change things in the game, and then it instantly uploads. So when every day you get into your game, it would be something new. We haven't yet to see a game like that to do that yet. So I mean, yeah, I think that would have been great if this title was like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been one of those titles that you could just pretty much play forever.
Yep. Turtle agrees in the chat. He says it was so held back by last gen. That we will. Are you talking about Assassin's Creed? What are you talking about, Turtle? Are you talking about this game or Assassin's Creed? Oh, he's talking about Assassin's Creed. All right, yeah. Yeah, see, that's one of those games. That's one of those games that it wasn't truly next gen. I mean, it was
No.
polished graphically, but other than that, it wasn't truly next gen. We'll see
No.
with Unity, I think, a more next gen experience. I mean, it's not even coming out on current gen, so that's definitely going to be more of a next gen experience. So I think we're finally starting to see some of those truly next gen titles, and this is probably going to be one of the first ones, even though it is current gen as well. I think what Chaos said, the differences are going to be more apparent.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a new side to our video games, and I mean we've got more exclusives coming out this year. There's still Sunset Overdrive, which I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like a fun title. It's not serious. It's not one of those that you have to be a hardcore player to play. Like, unfortunately, Destiny is turning out to be one of those games where if you want to do well in this game or get the rewards, it seems like you have to be playing for hours on end. So
Right. We shall see.
we shall see. Yep.
All right, the next upcoming. I mean, we could talk forever about upcoming games, and we're not going to. So we'll just mention one more: Forza Horizon 2. Clowns. I think I'm making Clowns a little bit more of a believer of it. He wasn't too hot on it before. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm slowly starting to like it. I mean, they got Camaros in there. I'll play it. That's all it's got to take. IROC Z's, Camaros, and I'll play it.
Wow, you are such an Italian. It's disgusting. Even though I'm Italian too. Love you, bro. Assassin, what do you think of Forza, man? You tried out the Forza demo.
Yeah, I tried the demo, and that I fell in love with it. But Clowns will disagree with me with this. But the first cutscene, the game, right? You load up the demo, first cutscene, fell right in love with it.
Oh my god, right from the first cutscene.
Yep.
And we got somebody in the chat. Little Turtle Boy actually has a review copy, so his opinion I do value. He says all in caps, "It's so good." And I from what I saw in the demo, like I actually played the demo at least 4 times once I finally got it to work. That is. But even though it doesn't save your progress, which kind of sucks, so you have to restart the demo every single time. But what do you guys think? Like, Clowns and Assassin, you guys both played Forza 5. What do you guys think of, like, the... Holy moly. What do you guys think of the steering compared? Like, the control and stuff.
Right when I picked up the controller and drove my car, I was expecting more Forza 5. I know you warned me. It's like, it's not going to be like Forza 5, it's going to be different. It's going to be different, but I was still thinking it. But it seems more of a harder version, like a Need for Speed control, which I like better. Need for Speed, it's decent, but we're not going to get into the
Wait,
subject.
you like Need for Speed better than Forza Horizon?
No, I like Forza better. I'm just saying,
okay.
I like that it's a little bit more difficult. Because like in Need for Speed, you can just hit the NOS and go like 1,000,000 miles per hour around.
Right.
You have to actually take your time, slow down, and or you're gonna run into a tree.
Right.
Those trees are always out to get me.
I personally love the control in Forza Horizon compared to 5. I mean, I do like the simulation, professional type of handling on Forza 5. And when you've played that so much, and then you go to Horizon, you're kind of like, holy crap! Like I cannot steer this. I'm steering it too touchy. Like when you go off road, you're sliding all over the place. You're hitting the brake too much. You need to quickly adjust if you want to play competitively on Forza Horizon if you're a 5 fan. Handling's great. Weather affects it as well. Yeah, that's true. We got weather effects on this one. Either of you guys experienced the yeah, you guys did the demo, so you experienced the weather effects. That's kind of cool, right?
Yep. And it's actually the first game I noticed the windshield wipers actually move while it's raining.
Right? No kidding. The windshield wipers move, and they're different windshield wipers depending on whatever car you're driving.
Yep, I believe. I don't know. I've only played the demo twice. One car.
Alright, let's go back to the chat really quick. Amazing Flying Squid wants Assassin to check out the podcast Twitter. So, Assassin, can you do that really quick? And then Keegan says we need a new Burnout. Absolutely, that's not going to happen, but we need one. That game was incredible. I think EA is just going to milk the hell out of Need for Speed. So we're not going to get Burnout, but Burnout was awesome. Burnout Paradise was so good. But this is a good stand-in for Burnout Paradise, kind of. I mean, it's not as crazy, but it's kind of got the same play style, the kind of open world style of it. So if you're a fan of Burnout Paradise, I would definitely give this one a try. And going back to FIFA really quick, Jizzle says, breaking news, FIFA is hard. No kidding. FIFA's always been hard. But anyway. So, anybody getting Forza Horizon? I am.
Not at launch.
Oh, you guys are stiffs.
I might get it in the not in the near future, in the future, maybe a year or two.
We're a bunch of broke stiffs because
yeah,
there's
well,
too many games coming out.
That's true. I mean, if you had let's just say if you had the money, would you be getting it?
Yeah.
I would probably pick Shadows of Mordor first before Forza, but
okay, that's fine.
Money.
That's a good one. That's a good question. Shadows of Mordor or Forza? Everyone
probably
universally
Shadows of Mordor.
Yep.
Shadows.
Yep. Yeah, I'm breaking the mold. I would choose Forza, but just because I love the Forza franchise. Shadow, very close second. Turtle says he's getting it day one. Yeah, we know you already have it. You jerk. You got it day 0, right? Some people in the chat say most likely not day 1 for Forza. So in the that's a good question in the chat. Shadow Mordor, Middle Earth Shadow Mordor, or Forza Horizon 2. Which one, if you had the money? Money was no object. And give like a short reason. And we'll revisit that. Before we continue, do we want to... Chaos, do you have a question for the chat this week, or do you not have one this week?
Yeah, since we're on Lord of the Rings, what is your favorite Lord of the Rings movie / book? Anything.
Favorite Lord of the Rings movie or book? That is the chat question. Answer that. We'll feature your answer on the show right now. So respond back. And if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments. And we'll probably feature you on a later show, or we'll respond back. We'll wait until we get a few more responses, but some have already come in. Let's move on to the next topic, which is DLC. We've gotten some DLC this week, or we're getting some DLC. How about the one we already got, which is Watch Dogs? Finally, right, Assassin?
Oh, yeah.
When did this game come out again? Remind me, somebody?
May, I want to say. May?
May?
End of May.
Is that right?
End of May.
May 20-something, maybe?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what is it today? What was it yesterday, or whenever this came out? Yesterday, right?
September 23rd, first day of fall.
September 23rd. And we're getting our first batch of DLC. Anybody else have a problem with that?
I do.
Yeah, that takes a long time for them to come out with DLC, which it shouldn't have.
Can you imagine if you bought your season pass on day 1?
I would have been very upset.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus. Clowns. 4 months, bro?
Yeah, that's a little too long for.
Especially from a
Ubisoft.
good developer like Ubisoft, and we're all big fans of Ubisoft.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
a big developer like them dropping the ball like this, as if the launch and the scandal about the graphics and this, that, and the other thing at launch wasn't bad enough. They wait all this time to release their first batch of DLC. I mean, kind of a bad move. Hopefully they can redeem themselves though with this, because I may be very universal. I mean, not universal, unique in my opinion here, but I actually enjoyed the single player Watch Dogs. Multiplayer, let's not even get started. But the single player, I enjoyed it. I mean, you guys enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the most part, we all enjoyed
I
it.
enjoyed it.
I
It
feel
was a
like
good
we
story, but
yeah.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. I feel like we have a very unique opinion on that, though. Like, I feel like we're the only ones who appreciate it for what it is, or some of the only ones, because a lot of people hated it. Like, most of the people hated Watch Dogs. Whenever you listen to people talk about the big fails on this system so far, Watch Dogs is either 1 or 2 for a lot of people. So, I mean, I don't think it was a huge fail. This DLC delay was a huge fail. But, I mean, other than that.
Yep. And speaking of DLC, the Wii U is not getting the DLC.
The Wii U version, which hasn't even come out yet, according to Assassin, is not even getting the DLC. That is unbelievable. When does the Wii U version come out, Assassin? You know?
I was thinking November.
November. Sometime in November, yeah. So they get it 7 months later, 6 months later, and they don't even get the DLC. Awesome. Alright, before we move on, let's go back to our question here. So the Jizzle says The Hobbit. The Hobbit book was better than the Hobbit movie, I think. Desolation of Smog for Zave Blazem. Little Turtle Boy says the first or second Lord of the Rings. Assassin says Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. I don't know what movie Keegan's referring to. Do you guys know?
It's the Return of the King.
Return of the King, okay. So, we're all over the place on that one.
I knew that would get a little crazy.
What? I think I would have to say the original Hobbit movie was my favorite.
I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but there used to be a cartoon. I guess you call it more like a movie, but it was a Hobbit cartoon movie. I think that was my favorite as a kid
Yeah. I don't remember that.
because they had like a song to it too, like when Frodo gets his finger, bitten off by Gollum. Oops,
Yeah.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Like they had a little song in the cartoon, like I can't remember the lyrics, but something about how he had only 4 fingers. I don't know. It was something weird.
So, the other two guys, favorite Lord of the Rings movie? Assassin, you already said. Lord of the Rings, Return of the
Yep.
King. Clowns?
To be honest, I haven't really watched them, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to comment.
Alright, okay. That's fair enough. Back to the Watch Dogs things before we actually get into what it actually was. Turtle Boy says, when you wait to release DLC that long, then people are already moving on to different games. 100% agree. 100% agree. We kind of touched on that, but that's definitely true. Keegan says, had the season pass, got rid of the game, what a waste of money. Yeah, I feel like some people just got rid of the game and had the season pass. Like, I don't know if people forgot that they had the season pass or they were just sick of waiting and they just wanted to get the most money back for it and eat the money, but I don't know if I'd trade in a game that quickly if I knew I had the season pass. What about you guys?
No, if I forked over the extra money, I'm gonna keep the game.
Yeah.
Unless it's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah. I think that's pretty universal on the panel. I mean, this was a long time though. I mean, this is unusual how long it was before the DLC came out. But Yeah, Assassin. You want to talk about the DLC since you're the one who actually has it?
Yeah, the DLC takes, I want to say a year or so, or maybe less, after the main story, Watch Dogs, takes place with T-Bone. There might be spoilers, but I'll try to keep the spoilers down to a minimum. But you play as T-Bone, and basically what he wants to do is just leave Chicago. He wants to get, basically start anew, somewhere else. He doesn't want, I think Bloom or whatever. I forget their names.
Yep, that's probably right.
Chasing them and hunting them down and killing them or whatever. Who knows what they really want to do. And so I mean, he tries to leave town, and then I forget his name, but he was a homeless person. But he was smart. He worked with had problems because Bloom was had a huge contract on his head, so he wanted to save his friend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like I said, there's going to be spoilers. It ended up, the whole thing was an act of revenge. Because what T-Bone did in the past with the blackout, and he killed like 11 people.
Mm-hmm.
It had, I forget the hacker's name, but he had a mouse for a face or whatever hat.
Isn't it like DeMarco?
No, it wasn't. I forget it. It was like some hacker. He made your screen all blurry and fuzzy at the end. I forget his stupid name. But
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name either since it's been 4 months since the damn game came out. So I mean,
he ended up T-Bone actually ended up killing, I believe it was his brother in the blackout. So I mean, that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
I mean, I probably said a little bit too much, but
probably. But you said spoilers, so fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that gives a good overview of what the DLC is.
I'm not going to say what's going to happen at the end, but I believe what happened at the end, there's going to be another game. Well, I mean, they already said there's going to be another game, but they hinted that there's going to be another game.
So what's new though in the DLC? There's like a few new things, right? So like, what's new to the gameplay? Like it's the same essential gameplay, but what do they have that's new?
They did change the side missions that you had to play. I mean, they kept some of them. The driving contracts or whatever. There's some, like, I guess you could say gang hideouts, but I mean they were difficult because you couldn't kill anyone.
Gotcha.
It's just more knock them out and
takedowns. Yep.
And then hack like 3 computers, or there's some where you had to do it in a certain amount of time, and then some of the driving ones I was really pissed about because, like, you've seen Inferno because you said I kept on sucking at it. So you had to go stay in a certain amount of speed, but once you got out of that speed, you had like 3 seconds to get back into that speed, and you had like 40 checkpoints. That was really frustrating.
Right. Yeah, that was completely
the cars you were getting.
Yeah.
And then some of the contracts they actually added co-op for.
Yes, so that's important to say. So there's now like a real co-op system where you guys can take on side missions in co-op, and there's leaderboards for it. So now they're infinitely spawning, right? I mean, you can continually just do a new one over and over and over. It's like random generated, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
Yep, definitely. They added new skins or whatever for T-Bone. They didn't add any new weapons. Well, they added one, I believe, but it was just like the Goblin or whatever, so it sucked. And then they added a new skill tree for the contracts or whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, it gives you a reason to play the game more, but I mean, still, those contracts are just repetitive, basically.
Right.
Go here, hit that, hack that. So.
Right. Sorry about the microphone being a little loud. It is a little. I had it set for my my regular stream with a different microphone, so that's why it was loud. My bad. So what do the other guys think about the new DLC, Clowns or Chaos?
Looks pretty cool. Yeah, but a little bit too late. I do like the little RC car. That's pretty awesome.
Oh right, yeah, because
Yeah, I forgot
T-Bone
about
can
that.
can control his RC car Eugene that he calls Eugene. I don't even get that really, but yeah, I think that's a good ad. I think it's I would like to see how much it is individually. I think it was $20 for the season pass. Is that right?
I believe so. Usually, story add-ons like Assassin's Creed has are usually $20.
Right, right.
But,
All right, so
but usually, I know on the PlayStation, these add-ons actually become like arcade titles. That you don't need the game. So I mean, we could see that possibly in the future.
right. All right, so I think that's all we got for Watch Dogs, right? Anybody else have anything?
No.
All right, so Watch Dogs DLC, you can't get it quite yet unless you have the season pass. If you have the season pass, it is out now on the 30th if you don't have it. The other DLC that's coming out this week, tomorrow is it, or is it
It's
Friday?
tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, so it's tomorrow. The new Titanfall map pack. So this is the last one for the season pass, I believe, right? IMC Rising, 3 maps. So the maps are called Blackwater, Sand Trap, and Zone 18. I don't really know a ton about them yet. I'll be playing it tomorrow and streaming it. So Assassin will be playing it with me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Clowns, do you have the season pass or Chaos?
No,
You
I
guys
don't.
didn't get the season pass, all right. So I don't know if they're gonna get it, but me and Clowns will
think
definitely.
so.
I mean, me and Assassin will be.
I think Clowns has it. I asked him earlier today.
Oh, Clowns, you might have it then.
I'm a little bit confused. Sorry, I was just checking my email.
The Titanfall DLC, the season pass.
Yeah, I do got that.
Oh, he does have that. So maybe Clowns will be playing with us too tomorrow. So Keegan says about Watch Dogs. Sorry, I missed it, dude. He said if he knew there was gonna be co-op, he would have kept it. Yeah, no kidding. They should have co-op from the beginning. Damn it. But I think the co-op thing is kind of cool. You don't play as Aiden Pierce though, the original protagonist. You just play. The primary character is T-Bone, and then whoever comes in as the secondary character is just like a sidekick. So I mean, story-wise, that's kind of lame, but gameplay, it's awesome, from what I've seen. So definitely check it out if you're into it. And then we're getting negative stuff about Titanfall, so we'll move quickly after that. I just wanted to announce that tomorrow it's coming out, 3 new maps. We'll talk about it more on a later podcast, I'm sure, once we've had experience. But this is the last one in the season pass. So, looks like they're gearing down Titanfall updates and expansions at this point. Alright, so then we're just going to quickly go over with the deals of gold this week, and then we'll move on to our last topic. Deals of gold this week, for me, spoiler alert, kind of a little bit of a letdown. So, for the full retail title, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 2. Is on sale for 33% off. It's $40.19. And right now you can get it on Amazon for I believe $38. So I don't know why Microsoft is still behind on the digital price matching bandwagon, but this is not a deal. I mean, this is just not a deal, right guys? I mean, if you can get it cheaper disc on Amazon, why wouldn't people do that other than the fact that it's convenient to have it on their console? You know? Don't you guys feel the same way about that, shouldn't they? About the digital stuff?
Yeah, but I mean, some people don't like buying, things from Amazon. I mean, or digitally. But I mean, they should. People sometimes are smart enough to even look on Amazon. So who knows? Maybe they're like, "Ooh, sale, must buy."
Gotcha. Zave Blazem says about Amazing Spider-Man that Spider-Man sucks. Do not buy it. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing about Spider-Man 2, and with Spider-Man also, I should say, because the game's called Spider-Man 2. When did this one come out in May?
Yeah, I believe with the movie.
Yeah, I think it came out with the movie in May, so this is the first time I think they are discounting it. I think Sony already discounted it decently heavily. Is that right, Assassin?
I think a couple months ago. I think with the summer sale.
Yeah, so Jizzle says he'd rather play Amazing Spider-Man on the Sega CD. True that. That one was really good. Clown, did you ever play that on the Sega CD? The Amazing Spider-Man?
No, the last one I played was on Genesis.
Oh, dude, the Amazing Spider-Man on Sega CD was fantastic, dude. With Kingpin, dude. Oh my god, so good, so good. So yeah, anybody on the panel gonna get Amazing Spider-Man for 33% off this week?
No, I didn't even like the movie, so I'm not even gonna buy the game.
Right. Clowns, Chaos, no.
No from me.
All right.
Nope.
So now to the indies, and so the good indie that's on sale is Contrast. That's 33% off as well. It's $10.04. Assassin got experience with it already on the PS4, and what do you think about it, Assassin? Definitely worth the money, right?
Very good game. Worth even the full price. I don't even know how much it is.
$15.
$15. I would spend 20. I mean, it's really good. It makes you think. If you're not intelligent, it's going to be a very hard game to play in certain parts.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think, because the character, can go in and out of shadows and stuff. So I mean, sometimes you have to move like a light around to pull it back for a bigger shadow, or pull it forward or left and right. So I mean, it gets difficult, and then sometimes it can get really frustrating because once you get in the shadows, your character goes back into like normal, and then you have to hit buttons. It gets really frustrating, but it's very good. It has a pretty decent story for an indie game. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't rate the story of the century, but I mean, it's pretty good. If you like hunting for achievements and stuff like that, an easy game to get 100% in. So I mean, it's very good. So,
Cool.
and graphics are pretty good.
Cool. So it's like a cartoony like art style, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, me and Clowns just got review copies. Shout out to the developer. What's the developer's name against Clowns? It escapes me right now.
Compulsion Games.
Compulsion Games, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Compulsion Games. They gave us a review copy. So we'll be checking it out, and we'll talk about it more on a later podcast, and we'll probably do a review on the site for it. But Clowns, you're excited to play this one, right?
Absolutely. I watched some screens of it. It looks amazing. I mean, the type of work these developers are putting into these games these days, these indie games like this, I mean, it's like heart and soul artwork, storyline, and it looks like a lot of fun, so I can't wait to get into it.
Mm-hmm. And we got people in the chat that expressed that opinion too. I mean, Zave Blazem says, I'm excited for indie games of the future. Spec the Red Riding Hood.
Smite looks really good.
Smite, yep, Smite looks awesome. Plague Inc., right? Or whatever it's called, isn't that the name of it?
Nope.
Goat Simulator.
Yep.
Goat Simulator is
Goat
gonna be
Simulator
fun.
is coming soon, right? So apparently the Red Riding Hood game is called Wolf, according to Little Turtle Boy. So yeah, we're gonna be talking a lot about indies on the show. I think that's definitely gonna be a nice space that we can get into for reviews and stuff. And we want to support indie developers, so yeah, definitely check that out. The last deal with Gold, I'm kind of disappointed about, because this game I didn't find intriguing at all, and they could have at least discounted it 50%, because I didn't think it did that well. Is 1001 Spikes. Does anybody on the panel know anything about this game, or have you seen it?
No, I haven't played it.
No. It looks like an old platformer, probably like a hardcore genre.
Yeah.
Almost like a Pitfall.
Yeah, that is what it looks like a lot, actually. The graphics are like Pitfall, like legitimately like Pitfall on the friggin' Atari. Like, I appreciate these developers going for that old art style, and of course with a title for our podcast is Four Guys with Quarters, we do appreciate the old style, but geez, this one takes it a little too far, I think.
And the old games were fun, but they were very hard, and sometimes people want to play games just to have fun. and they don't want to. They don't want to suffer. And a lot of these old titles, they're gonna make you suffer. Like I don't know if anybody's ever played the original Ninja Gaiden, but oh my God, that game
Yep.
will give you a heart attack.
Sure will. I remember that. So I don't know if this game is similarly as hard, but that Super Time Force that is the game with gold right now. That's really hard, and that's in this 1001 Spikes. The art style is kind of similar, right, Clowns? You played a little bit of Super Time Force, right? You think it's pretty hard, right?
Yeah, it's definitely very hard. I mean, I love the graphics, and the style of gameplay is definitely not for me. But other than that, I think that the developer put a lot of amazing things into that title with the story, the originality. I mean, it just takes a lot of thinking to play that game.
Yeah. Jizzle says that's the problem with you kids these days. You need hard games in your life. Yeah, all right.
No, I remember the hard days, Jizzle. I'm glad the good days are here.
Yep. Tell me about it. Jeez. Ninja Gaiden specifically.
I still have nightmares from Donkey Kong, freaking throwing barrels at me.
Assassin agreed with the Jizzle though that we need hard games in our life. You want harder games, Assassin? You think that's the stuff that's coming out?
I am tired of games be like, we're gonna hold your hand and this is how you do things these days. Like Destiny a little bit. You're like, here, have a purple. With the new.
Have you done the raid though
Queen's
yet?
Wrath.
Have you done the raid though?
No, because I don't give two shits about my gear.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that is a new level of difficulty. I mean, you can't really say, well, it's holding your hand when.
The rest of the game, they're like, here.
Well, yeah, that's the rest of the game.
Okay.
That's the main story. The raid is a totally different thing. That's like a hardcore area, really. And the Nightfall, how many times did we die doing the Nightfall the other day?
But I'm just saying, other games in general just be like, here, I'm gonna hold your hand. Come here.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fly away on a magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
Well, Contrast you said was hard though, right?
Yeah, and then when you play it again, it's like, boom, done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think these indies are starting to bring back some hard titles, and whether or not that's a good thing, that's your opinion, I guess. Jizzle says go play TMNT on NES and then come back to me. Clowns actually loves TMNT on NES, right, Clowns? That's your game.
Yeah, I love that game. I can't lie. I mean, it was hard though. Thank goodness for Game Genie back in those days. Huh?
Nice. Yep. So speaking of hard games, Keegan wants Dark Souls to come to Xbox One. Let's talk about a hard game. Holy Christ.
Yeah. Most of the Dark Souls game, that's one of the game titles that does not give you a. I mean, they promote you to be suffering. The more you suffer in that game, the actual better you'll feel. But it's that one there. Nope.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna sell a ton of copies if it does come, even though it's like one of the hottest games on the 360. But
I mean, it's got a great following too. So.
Definitely. I think we're done with deals with gold. Overall this week, kind of meh. Contrast, good. Other two, not so good. But let us know if you disagree or you agree. Let us know on Twitter or send us a message on Twitch or something. Let us know, definitely. And we're looking to hear the viewer response. Okay, last topic. We'll be quick on this one, promise. Xbox One coming out in China finally. It got delayed. It was supposed to come out earlier this month. It got delayed, but it now has an official release date, September 29th, 2014. So later this month. Couple big points I want to just talk about with the guys really quick. The fact that it beat the PS4, and is that a big deal or not? And apparently, games have to get in China the way it's going to work, since they don't have like really an ESRB rating system or the PEGI rating system that they have in Europe. Apparently there's going to be a local culture department to ensure that none of the Chinese national unity or any of that stuff, or any Chinese virtues are violated by the game. So a lot of games are either going to be censored a ton or not even come to the system. But they are going to have 10 games that release at launch. Those I don't know exactly what they are yet, but they are going to have 10. I think, first of all, beating the PS4.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great that they finally won.
You think that's... I mean, apparently, according to Reuters, it's gonna be... it's like the third most emerging gaming market. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Chinese gaming market in general, but just a quick wrap-up. Console games were banned in, like, the year 2000 because they thought it was corrupting kids. So just recently, that ban, and they weren't really enforcing it too heavily. Like if you were in the major areas of China, it was enforced, but you could find systems here and there that were imported or black market or whatnot. But this year they waived the ban on console games, but they're gonna limit the kind of stuff that comes out, like I said. But yeah, beating PS4 to the market, and it's the third highest emerging market for video gamers. So it's gonna have a huge following, video gaming in general. So is that gonna do well for the Xbox One? You think? Is that gonna get a lot of Xbox Ones sold now, or what do you guys think?
Didn't you have like a theory for the Xbox One being delayed? Like going to...
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So we were kind of talking. We were kind of talking a little bit off the podcast, and we were thinking that maybe the delay had to do with the Minecraft acquisition. And Minecraft's going to be one of those games I think that they do approve, because why wouldn't they? I mean, I don't think there's anything really obscene. There's nothing that violates any kind of like virtues or whatever that they believe in, and it's very kid friendly. And I think this acquisition is going to make Minecraft synonymous with Microsoft in a country that is like the leader in population. So I think that's a huge deal. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's a very good point. They could offer up an Xbox with it's already preloaded with Minecraft. So I mean, yeah, that's a very awesome point.
And when the PlayStation consoles come out they're not gonna have Minecraft. They're just flat out not gonna have it. Probably. I'm guessing that, but that would be a smart move for them, I think. So apparently the Chinese Xbox One games: Dance Central Spotlight, Forza 5, Connect Sports Rivals, Max, Curse of the Brotherhood, Naughty Kitties, which I have no idea what the hell that is, Neverwinter Online, Power Star Golf, Rayman Legends Trial Fusion, and Zoo Tycoon. So all pretty family-friendly stuff there, but some good titles nonetheless. So, what do you guys think? I mean, are you guys kind of happy like that the Microsoft is gonna? You think Microsoft's gonna sneak back and even off the playing field a little bit worldwide, or?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a big heavy hitter in Japan. So, I mean, there are some areas of the world that haven't even seen a next-gen version of the console. I think that was one of the advantages that Xbox had over Sony, is that they could offer, their product to these areas. So, I think it's very good for them. Hello?
Any other thoughts about that, guys? China? Nothing?
Not
I
really.
got nothing on that. I have to wait to see what happens.
All right, so I'm sure we'll talk about it in a later podcast, but just wanted to throw it out there. September 29th, they're finally getting it, and I think it's gonna boost sales worldwide for Microsoft. I mean, how could it not? I mean, I think they're gonna level off the playing field a little bit, and that's gonna be good for all of us. But other than that, I think that's it. I mean, do we have anything else, guys?
We are changing our podcast day.
Oh, thank you. Jesus Christ. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, the podcast day from now on is going to be Thursdays at 8 p.m. instead of Wednesdays due to a scheduling conflict with me. But we will we will let you guys know on Twitter and stuff if you haven't heard on here. So don't worry if you miss it for the first week. We'll have it on YouTube, but just keep in mind it's going to be on Thursdays. All right, so I think that's it. Other than that, right?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, if you have any comments or anything, any questions, let us know on Twitter. 4GWQ Podcast is our handle. You can email us 4guyswithquarters@gmail.com. We'll have our 4 Guys with Quarters email for our
It's set up.
website. Oh, we'll have that set up, and I'll have
It's
it.
already set up.
All right, what is it then?
4 guys at 4 guys with quarters.com.
Okay, so 4guys@4guyswithquarters.com. You can email us there. You can check us out at www.4guyswithquarters.com for all the latest reviews and all of our latest episodes that we're going to have. And yeah, so other than that, I think we're done, guys. Right?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, well, we will see you guys later. Peace. Thanks for coming by.
Hope to see you guys next week.
Later.